Hi everyone, I'm Angie Bailey,
And I'm Aurora Newton.
and I'm the one accused of being the high eye.
She's going to keep saying that through all of these future videos. I am an I.
Yes,
Not quite as
She
high as
is.
my buddy, but I am. She's like, whatever. Okay, so today we are going to talk about.
she snorted.
I do. I snort. I love to snort. And I always laugh when I have other snorters around me.
Mhm.
God brings snorters around me, so it just brings me joy. Anyway,
As long as they're the right kind of snorters.
as long as it. Yeah. Been down that road too. Don't ever want to go back there
We
again.
pray for them now.
Yeah, we do pray for them now.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Like people pray for me.
Yes.
Okay, so rabbit trail.
Uh-uh.
Oh, it's bunny trail. Oh, sorry. Okay. We are going to talk about working ourselves out of a job. So that may be a fascinating concept to some of you, but I have always talked about that. And Angie brought this up the other day. She's like, we should talk about this. I have always believed that there's something more. There's something more. There's something more. God always has more of a plan, more of a growth, more of a challenge, more of a whatever for us. So every job that I've had, I look for those people to empower so I can work myself out of a job and they can have the more. And so when Angie said, we need to talk about working ourselves out of a job, being, what did you say? Job
Security.
security. It's actually job security. And it even more than that, it's
Which seems
creating.
counterintuitive, but it's not.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's actually creating more jobs too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are growing people to take over your position, someone is going to need to steward and shepherd those people. So it actually is creating more space for new jobs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I was in Bible college, that was I majored in missions, and that was the number one thing. Dr. Peters, thank God for you. You taught me
Talks about him
so
a
much.
lot.
He taught us always be working yourself out of the job because, especially his theory, and I believe in it as well, was that a missionary should be always planting, always pioneering something new, and then you find people, and then you make sure it becomes an indigenous church. Like you're not
Absolutely,
there for
yes.
it to be solely dependent on you. And
It's
if
not
you
about
leave,
you.
it all goes away. You haven't done something right if that's the case.
No.
It's you go there, you you bring the truth, you plant a church or whatever the work may be. You plant those seeds, and then you raise up people to raise that up and to see that fruit bear.
To champion
And
it.
you move on because I mean that's just what you have to do.
That's life.
Yeah.
Now,
It's kingdom.
we're talking about that, but that doesn't always mean you're going to move on from the church that you're involved
no.
with, or the and I know you know
Yeah.
that, but viewers understand that might not be the job that you're at. It might not be. It might be the position, but not the organization or not the company. It might just be a level up. So we can work ourselves out of a job, literally, and work ourselves into another position in the same place. And I just think that's so important to know that, because sometimes that makes people uncomfortable when you talk about work. Well, I'm working myself out of a job. Are you leaving? People all of a sudden think, oh my gosh, you're leaving. And then they shut down.
Yeah.
And they close you out because they think you want to leave there, when in fact that's not the heart of what we're talking about.
No.
And I know for both of us, we see great things in the church that we're a part of, our body. We love our church and our body, but I know you're looking for people to take different positions that you have, and I'm looking for those too, so that we can do more things, greater things that really the Lord's called us in kingdom at our church. So it doesn't always mean that you're going someplace else, but it could mean that you are.
Right. And you can't let that be fear-based. A lot of people
Right.
think, job security is creating more stuff for me to do myself. So my role seems important, and like I can't.
I'm so
Nobody
important
can
that
do
they
this
can't
without me.
take me,
Yes.
or they can't lose me.
Irreplaceable.
Yeah.
And that's driven, I believe, by fear.
It is a fear tactic.
And so when you know that you're called to do something, And whether it's in ministry or within your own secular workplace, whatever that may be, when you have that assurance that you are called to do something, and you empower other people, and you're not driven by fear, you don't keep hoard all
That's
the
what it is.
success
It
for
is.
yourself. When you're really doing that, you're not successful at all. But when you empower other people, and see, the thing is that means it's always growing.
That's right.
There's always something else to
It's life-giving.
and other leadership will recognize that and say, hey, this area has flourished, so I need you to come over here and work on this area. And if you haven't worked yourself out of the job, then they probably can't afford for you to go
Right.
over to this other area. So that's why it's always so important to be doing that. I know I'm working myself right now on that myself. Like we've talked about this. Like, I am praying for God, highlight people to me
Right.
that are called into ministry, that are called to do this sort of thing, because I know I'm here right now, but we've all got things to do. This is supposed to grow so we can go on to this next chapter.
Right.
So we can go on to this next thing. And that only works if that foundation is still operating. So
And it's important too, like we talk about empowering people. The team, the core team that you are with, needs to be about empowering each other.
Mhm.
And we've talked about this before. I know that we're going to spin off here a minute, but I just feel like this is key to this. We've talked about, what tribe are you a part of? If you are not committed to that team, if you are not a part of that tribe, like if your heart isn't like, I want to take Angie everywhere I go, I want to take the staff everywhere I go, because I want them to have those same experiences. They can't, we can't. So we bring it back and we empower. If that's not your heart, like if you don't want to take your team with you and do life with your team, it might not be your tribe.
Mhm.
And so maybe you do need to move on.
Mhm.
So these are things to think about when you're working yourself out of a job, so to speak, or working yourself, into another position, not to strive for that, but to empower those under you,
Mhm.
lift those up. Don't try to control, don't fear, because those things will squish the spirit,
Yeah.
and you won't be able to empower anyone else around you or yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's not stepping on other people. It's everybody's
Moving.
rising.
Come
Yes.
on, girl. That's a good word.
Come on.
So come on. That's my East Coast coming out. Thank you so much for joining us. We really hope that this touched you in some way today.
Yes, absolutely. If this has helped you or can help someone you know, please like and share, and don't forget to follow us. Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.